Good morning, everybody. Chris here with Work To Game, and I am actually, I don't know, the stream just kind of crept up on me, and I have not beaten Lunar Festival. So I am going to go ahead and do that. I guess I haven't done it since before Cataclysm, because it's not showing up in my all the things. Let me close this door. So, what I am doing is basically I have an add-on, I believe this is Handy Notes, that tracks all the elders that I haven't done this year, and it should repopulate every year since they're uncompleted quests again. And I'm going through, and I have the achievements from before. I have 90%, so basically every achievement up until my 5-year break, I assume. So I need to probably go clear Draenor and... yeah, probably that's it. Draenor and then obviously the new islands. So, but I need to go back and clear a lot of these because for some reason I don't have any of the items. And I bet that means that I probably did this event all the way through back before you had the transmog system in place to save those items. What's going on, Scrublord? How are you this morning? So that is my plan. Let's go get this clear. Obviously with my break I missed the vast majority of Lunar Festival. So I've got a couple days to knock it out. We'll see if we can knock it out in one sitting, and then it'll be time for Love is in the Air, the Valentine's Day event. Good morning, Chemistral. I should probably open up Discord. Alright. Wasn't planning on streaming, but realized I logged in to check stuff and then realized this needed to get done. And I don't have that long left to do it, so. And I'm a bit more stringent on my achievements in this game than I am in Final Fantasy. There we go. Part of that I think is just that I have so many complete. It's easy to like care when you already have like over half the game beaten. Actually, according to the recent patches, it's dropped as low as 45%. So as they continue to patch things, I fall behind. My goal is to get it to 55% in 2019. So 10% more. Which doesn't sound like much, but it starts to get hard. This is World of Warcraft. Battle for Azeroth. What's up, Emily? And all I'm doing right now is a global event. So just like in Final Fantasy where you have seasonal events, I have seasonal events. And my seasonal event literally just requires that I go to all these places. Now, back in the day before flying, this was really exciting because you kind of went to all these different towns that maybe you'd never been to before. If you had a quest tracker, it could show you quests you've never completed before, and you'd go to these towns and you'd talk to these elders, and they would represent each one of their towns, and they'll give you this token. But these days with flying, like and handy notes on my map telling me exactly where each and every one of them's located, I'm just going to pop in and out of every city. It's a time that I wish I had the Final Fantasy teleport system, because you would literally just teleport Aetherite to Aetherite, just start at the top of the list and go all the way down. Because basically that's where they are. They're at where the Flight Masters are. Have I tried Black Desert? I have not tried BDO. I think it's going to be like Warframe, where it's probably a game that if I give it a shot, I love it, and then I just don't ever have time for it. It came to Xbox, right? So that is something that, like, I asked my brothers if they were interested in picking it up, because if they were, I could probably justify squeezing in the time. But otherwise, what I'm doing with my brothers right now is we play World of Warcraft, or we play Warhammer together. Warhammer 40,000, which is, I don't have any behind me. They're all on that side in another case that looks just like this one. But they're these little miniatures you play like a Risk style game with. But each of your miniatures have unique rules, and so it gets really complex really fast. And we don't live in the same city, but the modeling part takes so long that we just have like a text thread with them and some friends, and we just update each other on our hobby progress, and so that kind of acts as some form of a game, and then when we're in town together, we can play. Okay. I have a lot more showing on handy notes than just the elders. I'm just picking up these tokens. So, and I'm going clockwise around the entire continent, and then we'll go to the next continent. So we'll do Eastern Kingdoms next. It's pay to win. Yeah, I when it first launched, I heard it was going to be pay to win, so I was a little concerned about that. There was supposed to be some mechanics in there for people who didn't want to pay, but it didn't sound like they were going to be powerful enough. But it still sounded like underneath it could be a fun game. I don't I really like the idea of, because it's more of a like open sandbox. You do anything as opposed to something more like Final Fantasy or WoW or maybe even like a Guild Wars or Elder Scrolls or anything like that, where there's a lot of rules in what you do. Like the crafting systems and stuff aren't deep enough. The deepest crafting system in a main AAA game is Final Fantasy, but then nothing uses it. So like they have the best system and then they don't use it. They don't. So like all they had to do was make like Eureka drop the parts to your relic, and then you need a crafter to put them together. And then if you don't want people to have to actually socialize with each other, then make the crafters either supply vendors or supply the guild mates or supply the market board with items that put it together. So like imagine like a template. And so you have to go buy a template. You have to go to the market board, you have to buy a template. And then the template allows you to put the pieces in, and it auto crafts it for you. WoW, you used to have to go and find an enchanter to enchant your gear. And now you can have these, I assume I have some on this character in this messed up inventory. Right here, enchanting vellums. So what an enchanting vellum does is it allows me to place the enchant on a vellum, and then somebody can right-click that vellum and apply it to an item. So they no longer have to know or be related to or ever be in the same place as the enchanter that enchants their gear. So that's what 14's crafting system needs. It needs a use, and then probably a bypass to keep you from requiring to level your own crafters or know a crafter to get to that use. What's going on, Mira? Oh man, that sounds awful, Scrublord. So maybe I'm too late. The problem with being too late is like I've taken in the last month or two, I've been taking 4 and 5 day vacations twice a month, and so like I would have fallen behind anyway, even if I'd played on launch. What's going on, Emily? Okay. And so then don't you just fall behind anyway if you're not paying? And when it's pay to win, are we talking about like hundreds of dollars, or are we talking about $5 to $10 a month? $5 to $10 a month, you know, if it requires that you're efficient with that money, is really no different than just an unofficial subscription. But if it scales perfectly with the dollars you put in, and the guy that pays $1,000 is 1,000 times better, or at least 20 times better, then that's a problem. A lot of the Square app games are like that. You have these like people that are just way ahead because they release these gacha games. All right. Let's see. We can get that on the way back up. Carry on. So far they're just dropping moonstones and rockets. I assume that's all they can drop because my all the stuff doesn't have a percentage on them. All right. On your last bird now. Cool. Got Sephiroth yesterday. What's going on, Akven? That's super cool. You like my shoulder pads? Yeah, the transmog system in this game is just wonderful. So, transmog, for anybody that's not familiar with what a transmog system could be, because I think this is probably the best in a mainline game right now, is I can literally go in here and see all this. There's a way to open it up so I can see myself. I don't know. And so, like, this is every shoulder that I have unlocked, and then they turn blue. And all the blue ones tell me, these are all the shoulders I don't have unlocked, and I can say, oh, that one's cool. Oh, that drops from a vendor. And so then, like, I know where things drop from. And so, oh, a vendor, okay, I can Google that. Which is super awesome. There we go. And then, even crazier still, you can then go to, like, sets. And these are all the sets. Every PvP set, every, like, dungeon, or every raid set that's ever existed. So it's a lot. There we go. Going to free win post. You don't get anything for $5 to $10. What's a good non-combat class to level up as you keep going broke? Level your gatherers. So crafters make a lot of money, but not until you have them at cap, and you either level them slowly and inefficiently, or you level them with money. So if you're already broke, level your gatherers first. Fishing is really relaxing to level, but not all fish have a use in the game. So if you're trying to make money at it, and you don't care about having it leveled, I would look up whatever fish currently give you experience, and I would go to your market board and look up all of them, and go catch like 100 of every fish that sells well within the range you get experience from. If there's multiple within that, see if there's a fishing hole that has multiple that are worth something, and go fish that fishing hole for a while. And then if you clog up the market board and you can't sell fish any faster, then pick a secondary profession. Pick mining, pick botany, and do the same thing. And just keep jumping gathering profession to gathering profession. Eventually you'll have them all leveled. The fastest way to level them is leaves, but you don't make any money doing that. What's going on, Brian? Basically, anytime you're doing an activity somebody else isn't willing to do, that they need to do, you'll make money. So fishing is really slow paced. And so if you can find a way to make it enjoyable and relaxing, you can make a killing, because everybody else bought this game to kill stuff. There we go. Drop some rockets. And on to the next one. I wish I could stream with this at like the 4K detail. Just so you know, these are the graphic settings at minimum, because I found that it's a way that like I don't get any frame rate drop, and it still says it's dropping some frames right now because I think I have some stuff running in the background. It's dropping a handful. So this game is absolutely stunning. I know it's still like a very like shader-esque, cell shaded, like Borderlands cartoony, but it is absolutely beautiful when I watch it on friends' screens. There we go. Next. So we're just making a clockwise loop around Kalimdor, and then we will move on to Eastern Kingdoms. And we'll see where we're at. I need a lot of these. So if we look at every item I can buy with this, the green items I think are pretty much 5 apiece. The blue items are 25 and 50 apiece. So I need like hundreds of these. If they don't get enough, all of these items are account wide, so I can literally just log off and log on to a different character and come back and do this whole loop all over again. So I should be able to knock it out all in 1 year. I don't think they intend you to. I think they intend you to, if it takes multiple years, it takes multiple years. The Lunar Festival's been going on for over a decade. And I know I had some of these items back in the day, but they were before the transmog system, so they weren't saved. If you're working on your blacksmith for crafting, definitely go miner. Oh, for sure. For sure. Because, like, one of two things will happen. Either you can go get experience. Yeah, I thought I joined. Let me see. There we go. See if this will drop me in. Discord. Good morning. Lindsay, welcome to the workforce. All right. So, yes, by leveling the crafter that pairs, or the gatherer that pairs with your crafter, if something becomes outrageously expensive and you need 10 of it, you can go gather 20 and sell 10 of it and take part in making outrageous money and keep the other 10 for yourself. But there's also times that literally, like, the amount you need of something just doesn't exist on the market board. No amount of money buys it for you. And so that can be really frustrating if you don't have the ability to gather it yourself. All right. Anything you can spend mendacity on to make more money? I don't know if there's any items. Are there crafting items tied to mendacity right now? Yeah, I wouldn't stack, like, say one item is selling for 5,000 and one item selling for 4,000 and one for 3. I wouldn't just buy all the 5,000s I could buy. I would buy 1 5, 1 4, 1, and I would just work down the list. Because prices change and you never know what people are going to buy. So I would rather just make things move quickly. So I would start with the most expensive and just go until I ran out of tomes. I just didn't know if the mendacity... I know past tomes have always had something that you could sell on the market board. One of the things I like about WoW's gathering system versus Final Fantasies is I wish that we had the depth in the mining vein, but I like that I feel that I can mine while in my battle class, that it's not this separate mentality. Because right now as I do these, I'm just mining everything I come across, and I'm not going out of my way, and some of these things aren't worth very much. But that node gave me like 7 or 8 gold, and took me no time at all. And so if I do that 100 times across this, that's 700 gold. But the node before it gave me like 50 gold. So that's like a quest for doing nothing. Like I really didn't do anything. I just right-clicked on the thing and waited 3 seconds or whatever it is. All right. Now let's do. And if I miss one, I miss one. I should probably knock out this raid while I'm down here, because I need to do it for the, there's a mount. Yeah, it would have to be that when you right-clicked it, it zoned you into your miner. Your whole action bar changed for it to interact. Mm-hmm. It's just time. It's just time. So I was making good work on my gatherers. I was starting to really do them, especially because I have my Vita, and then the Switch came out. So now if I'm gonna have handheld time on the couch, there's just so many things I'd rather do than level my gatherer on my Vita. Then I would probably have capped gatherers. Especially if I could hotspot it off my phone, so I could do it in the car. Like when Claire and I drove down to see her parents, just sit there and be like, well, I made 6 million gil. What'd you do today? It's a long drive. We sit there and just listen to podcasts, but like there's no reason that when it's her turn to drive, I couldn't be playing Switch. Actually, I usually am. mining node dropped over 200 gold. All right. Yeah, I don't know why it's not on the Switch. How does your laptop run it? I know that my my Mac doesn't run it well, so it'd be a bummer to find out PC laptops could run it. What's going on, Razio? Only using your Vita. That's awesome, Scott. I mean, I could do little stuff. I don't think I could do like a hardcore dungeon. I think I went the wrong way. How do I get to this guy? There it goes. I was like, I feel like there's a way to get to this big guy. Oh. This is just an old school raid, so. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it used to take more than 3 minutes, so. Alright. Reigns of the Drake. I did not get it. There we go. Where did that drop? 25 gold. And a minion that I already had, and some gear I already had that has a disenchant value of like 20 gold apiece. Well, so not a great. Just happened. It should have teleported me to the thing. Like it should have jumped me to the next island. There we go. Okay. There we go. Sweet. All right. Old school raid. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. This was Cataclysm, right? That sounds right. Well, Scott did it. I'm pretty sure all of Oldham was Cataclysm. I don't. AQ takes way longer. AQ is just such a slow raid to run. The problem with AQ is that it was done during Classic, and in Classic they had this feeling that like to make raids epic, you just have to make them bigger, and so these zones are just enormous. And part of the reason that they didn't feel bad at the time was you were in 40 mans, so like the width of a hallway could be ridiculous, and it didn't feel crazy because you had 40 people in there. But now when you run it by yourself, you're just in these huge empty caverns. And you're just running at like normal run speed. Ugh. I wonder how long that boss will take. Yep. Yep. I mean, I am substantially more powerful than I would have been back then. They also implemented a like raid loot style system, so you can get just about any drop. So you get a lot more drops now than you used to by yourself. It doesn't try to like split it up. You get like the whole raid's drop. Now, a lot of the gold's been dialed back to where you get the amount of gold that you should have gotten as an individual, but you get a lot of items. There's a handful of bosses that they missed on the scaling list, and I don't know if those were intentional or not. There's a video by WTB Want to Buy Gold that talks about which bosses they missed and which bosses he thinks should stay that way versus which bosses he's like, no, I think it's good that they missed it. All right. All right. And we'll just keep knocking these out. I'm up to 15 of these. At the very least, I'd like to get the pets, which I believe are 50 apiece. So I need 100 of them. 100's a lot. I don't think Cenarian Hold's going to be here unless I go to Valor's Rest. Alright, let's go to Valor's Rest. So one of the things that I think Final Fantasy may run into that it hasn't yet is if you start drastically terraforming because you have a cataclysmic event, you have to question, so when Cataclysm came out, they destroyed the old world. So there are just pre-Cataclysm zones, like when the Barrens was all one, southern and northern, that just doesn't exist that way anymore. Now, the next time they had a cataclysm, so like think 2.0 to 1.0, the world was just destroyed, and there's no way to go back and experience 1.0 as a 2.0 player. So you have the same issue in WoW. Well, the second time they had a cataclysmic event, which we just had, like the second time they truly re-terraformed big zones, and I mean they've done some little ones along the way, is now they allow you to, like, I guess Lich King was the first time they had this technology, so I don't know why they didn't do it in Cata. But I just talked to this person and said, I want to see Silithus as the way it was. So now we're in Silithus back when it's like a Q zone. Ooh, True Silver. I have no idea what old school ores are worth something and which aren't. So I just grab all of it. True Silver's 20 gold apiece. So, plus I got a Star Ruby. So, not bad. Yeah, you can farm for alts and transmog, absolutely. That's what it allows you to do. And with weekly lockouts, like if you're trying to farm a pet, you get a weekly lockout on each alt. So you saw how long it took to clear that. So if I really wanted that Drake, since it's a mount, that mount is account wide. So I have 5 characters. Some people have up to 14 characters on a server, but it's account wide. So you can have up to 40 characters on an account. Theoretically, if you had all 40 characters at probably level 110 or above, you could go run that 110 times a week if you wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to, but you totally could. And if the mount dropped on any of those 110 runs, you would have it. Transmog is also account wide. Now, transmog is account wide with like a weird caveat. So like if the piece of gear, like this piece of gear here says it's a back piece. Back pieces can be worn by literally any character. So when I open up my collections, if you go to items and you notice, okay, on shoulders, I have 6 pages. If we jump to back pieces, I have 9 pages. Because there's just more of them. But if we jump over to like shoulders, these are leather, so only leather wearers can wear them. Now leather that's druids, that's I think technically shamans and hunters can, even though they're male wearers after level 40, and that's rogues. And so like I share with classes, there's DPS classes in there, there's healer classes in there, there's tanks, there's a ton of leather wearers, and we can all do it. Sometimes a piece of gear might be class locked, so it'll say like can only be worn by the following classes. So it's account wide, but only if you still also meet that criteria. So if I create 27 druids, all 27 druids share. But the moment I create a warrior, he doesn't have access to any of the leather. That way a class always looks roughly like that class should. Alright. Now one thing you want to do anytime you take a zone back to its old school is I always want to go flip it back. Because otherwise I'm going to come to Silithus for something and I'm going to need the new stuff, and I'm going to be frustrated that my past self just was lazy. Alright. So we will run back over and talk to Zidormi and take Silithus to the way it is instead of the way it was. This thorium is worth, like, decent money. Well, no, the thorium isn't. The true silver is. The thorium's only worth 3 gold apiece. Where is that? Is that down in the hole? I don't want to go in the hole. I don't want to go on the cart. Alright. But like 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000. I'm pretty sure it's a 3-second cast. That's probably in my spell log. So 3 seconds, and then there's an enchant that makes it go a little faster. Even if it only drops 1 gold, right? Then that's 20 gold a minute. You know? So, what is that? 1200 gold an hour? Like, it's not great, but none of this is 1 gold. This stuff is 3 to 40 gold. So, like, the idea that you would skip over mining veins doesn't make any sense to me. It really does add up. There we go. So we will take this. So, like, this is what the zone looks like. And then we will come back here and say, I want to go back through time. Can you return me to the present time? And now it's all trashed. Not that it was great before. It was like a bug desert. Okay. Now we jump up to Feralos. Wow, already halfway done with the continent. That was easy enough. So if each continent takes me like an hour, this is still a long time. That's what I get for waiting until the very end. I've got 4 days to do all of Lunar Festival. And really, doing it on Mondays is a bad idea. So it's got to get done this weekend. All right. And I may stop and do a few more raids along the way, but for the most part, I assume in this like 5 hours that it'll just be Elder tokens. This was at 45% when I started, so Lunar Festival's 54% of the way done. And at the end, it should skyrocket as I buy vendor stuff. Man. Now, Feralos, this is a classic zone, so like these trees were meant to be looked at from underneath. And from underneath for like 2004, these look great. Not to mention all these textures. A lot of these textures have been updated, and I just have my graphics down so far that they don't look that great. But I remember thinking these zones were just stunning back in the day. But when you get above them, they don't look good, because they're meant to filter the light. And they do. They look neat. How do I fit WoW and 14? I constantly feel like I'm disappointing myself, is the honest answer. I'm behind in both games. I have things that I want to have done and they're not done. I still don't have the last of my Blue Mage abilities. I've got friends that want to drag me into a raid in this, and my eye level's low because I traveled a lot the last month or so. And so I need to go get dragged through some M+. They were leveling up alts and stuff last week, and I was out of town. They were like, hey, come along. We're going to just feed a bunch of people gear. And I wasn't able to go. So it's a lot. A big piece of it is like I sat down and I made a list of everything I want to get done in 2019 in both games and made sure that the overall list wasn't too much. So like I don't want to have all my characters at cap in 14 in 2019 because I'm still way off that mark. But I do want to finish up all of my tanks. Obviously, Gunbreaker I can't get started on yet. So by the end of 2019 I want to have all my tanks capped. And then I want to have my gatherers capped, which fishing is done, and then mining and botany I think are around 50. And then I want to have my crafters capped, which they're all around like 50 or 60. So the reason I want to have them done is for Ishgard. There's finally a system that I think is going to use them. I love the crafting system. I just never do it because like there's no benefit to having it done. I mean, there's ways to make money, but I have no use for money. On the day Blue Mage dropped, I spent 3 million gil, and then that I wanted it back, and I listed a bunch of stuff, and I made 2.5 million in 3 days. So like, the fact that people have hundreds of millions of gil doesn't shock me, because it doesn't seem to be hard to get. There's just no use for it. You could buy a house, I guess. But me playing both games, I'm always afraid that like I'll forget to log into one and lose my house. It's the reason that like I'm on the fence about Anthem. It's the reason that I'm on the fence when like we tried Warframe on the channel for a bit, and people told me about BDO, and you know, I know Chemistro and Brian tried Guild Wars 2 for a little bit, and Chemistro, you're probably still playing Guild Wars 2, but I mean, it's the reason I just don't add a third MMO. It takes up a ton of time. I took a 5-year break from WoW. That's where I got introduced to Final Fantasy. I was playing WoW from 2004 when it dropped. I got it for Christmas that year, so I was a couple months late. And then I was playing until end of Pandaria. Draenor had been announced, and I was starting to feel overwhelmed. Like I was starting to feel like I was logging in just to complete tasks, like it was a job or a chore. And I just honestly asked myself, like, am I having fun? And I didn't think I was anymore. So I quit, and I took like a year-long break from MMOs. And then Brian was like, dude, you gotta play Final Fantasy. Guy in your FC has gil capped multiple times over. Yeah, I could see that. Like I said, I wasn't trying. I made 2.5 million right back. So I'm like right back where and I blew 3 million just on convenience. So the idea that somebody who actually tries could make 5 to 10 million some days and really just crank through it doesn't shock me. Only a couple left on this one, which means we probably have a lot of these little envelopes. Whoa, that arcane crystal sells for 484 gold, and we got 2 of those. That was big. This is not efficient gold making, but I am making gold. A token right now on this server, I think, is at like 150,000 gold. So like that's your mark. Like that's what's $15. So if you can make $15 an hour at a job, since it costs $15, then 1 hour of work, or 2 hours of work, by the time you pay taxes and gas and all that, 2 hours of work pays for 150,000 gold. So just to put it all in perspective, so this morning and across 2 or 3 hours, I'll probably make what somebody makes in 1 or 2 hours. So you do it because it's fun. If I need a heal or a DPS for my leveling quests, okay. Yeah, at this point, I need to start prepping for Shadowbringers. The fact that Shadowbringers, they've already kind of released like this content schedule that just slowly just seems to put the pedal on the gas more and more as we lead up to July. Tells me that we're gonna have a lot to do. So I need to sit down and say what all do I want to have done when Stormblood is officially done, and make sure that I'm on pace for that. And then it's the same with WoW. Like I need to make sure that are there things I want to get done. I'd like to raid some this tier above the looking for raid level in WoW. I don't think I'm gonna have any interest in raiding in Final Fantasy anytime soon. It's really easy for me to come by a WoW static. Like I'm just lucky to be part of a community that can just kind of drag me through that stuff. Organizing one, on the other hand, like I'm already in a guild in WoW that runs this stuff, and they're all really good players, so I'll just be the crappy player in the group and they'll just carry me. I don't have that same blessing in Final Fantasy. There we go. But I've known a lot of these people a very long time in WoW, and used to raid with many of them back in the day. Back when I used to sit on forums and like hardcore theory craft rotations and optimizations and all that. There we go. Soon we'll be able to get back to making Gil very well. I think that we're going to have a lot of uses for Gil when Ishgard drops, unless they just do it like the Doman reconstruction. That was such a missed opportunity. Okay. Okay, so the fact that I can talk to that guy tells me I can probably do the Darkshore one. So I assume that I can take Darkshore back in time, and then I can go into the Alliance area. I don't know what to do with these. You can do the content casually as long as I don't push it release. That's true. That's true. And like a lot of this, like the stuff I'm doing right now, this is from, I mean, this is 10-year-old content. So these games are so big that if I just focused on like non-current content, so leveling all my characters and all that, then each time I finish a task, it's done forever. So like every time you level a character to current cap, you're really done because the last 10 levels is no big deal. So keeping up, leveling all the characters 10 levels per expansion is no big deal. It's that initial curve, like if you pick the game up today and you have no characters at 70, that's a lot of work. So I know Brian felt a huge weight lifted when he got his last character to 70, and he's still missing his crafters. I think they're all at 60. His gatherers may all be at 62. 60 as well. I don't think I'll die if I do this. There we go. Oh, almost hit that roof. That would have killed me. So as a druid, I have instant cast flight form, so one of the quick ways to get down is you just unmount and then remount before you hit the ground. But if you hit the ground, fall damage can kill you in WoW. So, I've killed myself before. Oh, missed one. Gotta go to High Jaw. So there are apparently 86 of these guys. So I guess the other expansions don't have nearly as many lunar people. The problem with 86 is I need a lot more than 86 tokens. So I'll need to decide, do I want to do more of this next year, or do I want to go do this again on another character? You want to craft all your own equipment in Shadowbringers? I mean, the problem is you're really limited on like being the best eye level, but if you're not in in-game content, your eye level should still be more than enough to run all the dungeons. I just don't know that you'll be able to do the Alliance raids when they're relevant. I guess you could probably do the Alliance raids at the casual level. You're probably able to keep yourself above the minimum eye level required, but like I don't see, is Savage possible? Because there's a lot of times crafting falls behind to what, like, especially what Savage Raiders can get. Ooh, Obsidian. Well, that's worth nothing. Why is that worth so little? That's a Cataclysm War. Apparently Cataclysm just didn't release that much, like, craftable transmog that people want because the ores are just worth so little, or there's just an easy method to get it. Alright. Now we go up to Darkshore, and in Darkshore I have to talk to the guy. Isidore me again. Because Darkshore is a mess right now. Yeah, I should probably sit down and just level more. I have, so by the end of 2019, I want to have 5 of my characters at cap in WoW. And as of right now, I have 1 at cap. I have 4 at the previous expansion cap, and I have 1 down at level 50 that I want to be leveled. So I've got 1 guy that has a long way, and then the others, it's just, you could probably do it in a day or 2. So I just need to do it. And then I want to have all of their 10 professions at cap, and I think there's 13 in the game right now. So that would give me a pretty good representation on the crafters, excuse me, and gatherers, because it's all one thing. It's all considered your profession. And then I can worry about, like, I'd like to level up all the tanks, so I'd be missing Death Knight and Warrior. Death Knight and Warrior would allow me to pick up 4 additional, and so then I could have literally every craft in the game. Alright. And then in 14, I want to have all my tanks, all my gatherers, all my crafters, and then have Blue Mage done before the end of 2019. Whatever that means then. Oh, there's a rare spawn here. What are the odds we own Darkshore at this moment? I'm going to guess no, because there's an Alliance player here. That's true. You can overmeld crafted. That helps. Yeah, I'm going to guess we don't own that by the Alliance player being here. So, ooh, a chest. A Darkshore Cache. Thank you. Alright, Zadormi, where you at? Can you show me what it was like before? Yes, I can. Alright. Now it hasn't been trashed by the Horde. There he is. Now, I have this as well. So let's go turn Darkshore back into the proper area. So it's not just a bunch of deer anymore. I think there's some sickly bears here somewhere. I remember having to kill bears for maybe liver or something. Back when I played Alliance. I played a Night Elf Hunter. Alright, 5 classes left to get from 62 to 70. That's so exciting. Whoa, in 49 days, are you on one of the servers that gets you, like, awesomeness, or... Am I stuck on a tree? Can I cover this gap? I assume I can. It might kill me. We'll see. We're gonna see if we can make it. I don't know if you can make this. I assume you can. Before the fatigue kills you. I mean, I'm coming up on the point where I have to turn back if I'm not gonna make it. It looks like I'll make it. Okay. Woo! Hopefully you'll burn out in time for Anthem. Nice. Oh, whoa. It teleported me back. Okay, so do I have to talk to Zadormi first? How do I get to Darnassus? I know we burned Darnassus this expansion. Can you show me what it was like before? Yes, I can. Okay. So now can I get there? Is there like a boat I can take, or... Try it again. Maybe they're all tied to the same state, since we kind of raided Darkshore and destroyed Darnassus in the same patch. I don't know. Crafts, gatherers, and combats at level cap in the first 3 months of playing. Oh my gosh. No way. There we go. Now it looks like it's going to let us here. Man, I have not been to Darnassus in years. I mean, we burned it, but that's it. Okay. So I did some quests kind of in this area then, but we're going to do our last 2 of these. And then because Zadormi is like right where the quest area is, I'm not going to turn it back into a good area. I'll just Hearthstone out. Okay. Lunar Festival, I'm at 58%. We'll see how high I can get it. It says I have one of the items. What does it think I have? Nothing. I don't know what it thinks I have. Maybe I have it set to hide complete. Man, my inventory is just getting so jammed. It's a constant problem in MMOs. Too much stuff. 56 on your white mage. Yeah, I got my white mage to 30 so that I could PvP on it, and then I've never played it in PvE content since. It's in the 40s now. But it's all from PvP. I'm trying to talk to that guy. Are you kidding me? Got it. Wow, what a pain that is, being attacked by the guard. Okay. Next. Speak with Zadormi. Oh, there it is. I was like, that somewhere it should tell me that I had to do that, but it does on that tooltip. I don't know how people do it. Chemistry. They just knock it out. Okay, let's jump up into Darnassus. This is the Night Elf capital city before we burned it to the ground. So way back in the day. If you wonder what this is all about. And I'm being attacked by one of the flying guards. I gotta get away from these flying guards before I can port out. That should be enough to give up, right? Yep. Okay. So I have finished all of Kalimdor, so now we go to Eastern Kingdoms. The fastest way there is through Dalaran. Oh my gosh. Make another character. Would that be your third account, Emily? Oh, you're doing this all with the road to 60. Yeah, the road to 60 helps. I do not have road to 60. Yeah, the way to do it, if you don't, especially if you don't have like friends that you want to play with immediately, is you just oh, I guess I missed some gear out of that dungeon because it mailed it to me. Neat. Then creates an appropriate. What'd you give me? Sell price 13 gold. Sounds like you are going to become a Maelstrom crystal. Okay. While we're here, we could do Nomi. Nomi's kind of this just constant thing that I need to do as a completionist. Because this character is missing a lot of Nomi. Trash. Okay, and I am missing. We'll do Rune Scale Koi. And I guess Wildfowl Eggs. Oh, nope, that's already all of them. Okay. So what I did right before the expansion dropped was everybody was trying to dump all their old items, and a lot of them dropped like down basically below vendor price. And so I bought them all up. And so I had this huge stockpile of Legion cooking mats. just to feed to Nomi. Okay. Drop that in there. Oh, my bank is full. Should be right there. Thank you. And then it's left click. There it goes. Left click deposits all regions. There we go. All the years you played WoW, you've never done one of the holiday events. Oh man, some of them are really fun. Lunar's fine. It's just a chance to get out in the world and see stuff. Let's mail all this off to my engineer. That's where I store all my ores and gems and stuff like that. I think that's... oh, here we go. Okay. Now, on to Eastern Kingdoms. Fill the Journal Blossom. Or there it is, Undercity. Hooray! We made it! What's going on, Jirsaga? I've been good. I've been busy. Yeah, there's a... so for leveling fast there's a ring. There's a necklace, which I think was from pre-ordering Stormblood. And then... if you have like the recruit a friend, I think there's a hat. So like there's a lot of bonus experience you can get even without the road to 60 buff. Is he gonna be above me? I bet he is. I bet he's out so the Alliance players can get to him. Okay. That's fine. The other way. Send me the other way. Yeah, as long as there's a seasonal event going, that's kind of my first priority because they come and go. And the fact that I'm still missing stuff from them means that I'm, at the minimum, a year from whatever the current day is from completing this game. And odds are a lot further. Alright. I bet it's on top here, so that they can get to it. And I bet I have to talk to Sidormi to take Undercity back to the non-destroyed Undercity. We'll see. Looks like it. Yes. I must take it back to the way it was before. That also means Braille can't be destroyed. So, Zidormi is going to be needed for both of these. Where are you at, buddy? Hello. Can I return you to the present time? What? Oh, I was in the old time. Yeah, before the battle for Lordaeron. Lordaeron? There it is. Alright. They have an earring for Shadowbringers. 120%, that's huge. 5 expansions from now, you're going to have this whole set that nobody else can go back and get. Alright. Or is the earring the same that Stormblood had? Was it earring? I thought it was. I didn't think it was. It would make sense to me that pre-ordering an expansion is the same, regardless of which expansion you pre-order. So you don't slowly penalize people for not doing something that happened years prior. There we go. Can't believe they let me stay mounted in there. Alright. let's go clockwise. So on to the Plaguelands. And I don't see anything worth stopping for, like Scarlet Halls maybe? Skullomance is going to be too slow, Stratholme will be too slow, Zulamon will be slow. Like, I did that one raid because it was super fast. I could probably do Bastion of Twilight. Armor bonus will be 100 to 70 when level cap is raised. Huh. So 120. I'm having trouble understanding. So is it 120 overall, or like is the Shadowbringer's earring any different than the Stormblood? I would think it wouldn't be. Well, and the thing to keep in mind is if you do level synced content, so if you're doing like your daily roulette, it's based on the level you are at the time. So if you get synced down to below 30, the ring takes effect again. So you want to leave it equipped until well after 30 if you're doing instance content. Because if you're just doing your daily leveling roulette, you're well into the before statistically you have even remotely enough dungeons to stop seeing sub 30 all the time. I mean, leveling roulette for a long time just feels like, just put me in Tamtar or Sistash already. Like, why do I even have a wait time? I already know what I'm going to have to run. Where's this guy? In Western Plaguelands. It says he's right there. Oh, there's a cave. Take me to the cave. Why is he in a cave? This is like a lunar holiday. Is this right? That's so weird. Why would you be in a cave? It's a light-based holiday. Alright. That's so bizarre. Give me another one, please. I can reorganize this slightly. I don't know what all this junk is. But I do know that I need to mail this stuff off to my engineer when I'm done, and all that's vendorable. Have I gotten to do any of the raids in BFA? Yeah, so I did the last raid. I haven't done the new one yet, which is, at this point, I'm like weeks late. So yeah, I cleared Gahoon and everything. The first raid was fun. So this raid dropped the 22nd of January, and I have not done it yet. So I'm like 2 lockouts late already, maybe 3. And I will probably get it. I will probably run it this weekend before Tuesday. So I'll probably hit this lockout, but I won't. But I'll probably just do it at the LFR level. And then my gear level is just too low to get dragged into normal yet. But I have some friends that are going to work on that with me. Because I'd like to run it on my Druid, and my Druid's at 354. I really need to be up at like 390. 415 is where I'm headed. So 390, they could probably drag me. But at 354, I'm just going to fall over dead. That's true. You do get the free company buff and the food buff. Alright. Shadowbringers will be to 70. Yeah, So... to what end? Like, at what point are they gonna not... like, at what point are they just gonna finally release a set that we can go buy? And that set could be, like, Tomes of Poetics or something. You know, that you buy for your alts, like, once you're already at max. Oh, I guess I missed something from Nomi. Okay. Weird. Alright, and now we are on to Hinterlands. I guess I could kill this, I could do this world quest while I'm here. Pick up an honor-bound service medal. In Arathi. I assume that it'll zone me into the right Arathi. I'm not sure. I don't know if we own it right now either. That changes that. So LFR is lower than normal, yes. So LFR is kind of your pug stuff, so you just get tossed in. So like I could be doing it right now even. So let's go run one. So I got a raid finder. Defensive Drazolor, which I can't run the other ones because I haven't run it yet. And I'm willing to go as a DPS until I've seen it at least once. Like, it's been out too many weeks for me to go in and tank it. So I'll go to Raid Finder, and so it says it'll take around 4 minutes, and then I'll get tossed in there, and it'll take some amount of time. So I don't know if I'll be able to run more than one, but I could run one, and then I'll run, and they break the raid into 3 parts so that you can break apart your time, because LFR sometimes can take an hour. So LFR is your intro difficulty. Normal is like mechanics matter, but like you have room for error. And then heroic is like get it right. As long as you get it right, you shouldn't have any trouble getting it down. And then mythic is your savage ultimate punishing. We're gonna slam you into the ground. You asked for this. All right. So if that pops before I'm done, then we'll just do this. And I could do the same tomorrow. I'll probably stream tomorrow morning, doing the same thing. Just clearing Lunar stuff. I don't know that I'm gonna do this on more than one character this year. I think just doing it on one character this year, and then I can do it on my druid again next year, and be done. If I was really trying to be a completionist, I would finish it this year, but it's slow. This is a slow process. The new earring has made all earring slots from 1 to 70 useless, so he's not happy with it. For the purpose of leveling an alt. Like, that's the other thing, is because they just hand it to you, I agree with him, but if you make it only good for alts, so the way you do that is you stop just handing people gear for pre-orders, and you start handing them gear for, I'm not doing Arathi. That's a rabbit hole I don't want to dive down. Tie it to, like, Poetics. So something that requires that they're at, or tie it to whatever the current tome is. So it's something that they have to go grab from current content, or gosh, your Final Fantasy, just create a new currency for it that only drops from whatever the current tier is, and then you just get it, and it's useful for like some minions and some mounts and some form of like leveling gear that just takes you back and like will scale with you and will give bonus experience and all that. WoW calls that heirloom gear. So heirlooms are right here. Heirlooms are account wide, and the number on them tells you what level they stop becoming effective, and you upgrade them. So you buy them and they're only good to 60, and then you upgrade them to 90, and then you upgrade them to 110. And then when the next expansion drops, there will be a method to upgrade them to 120. And the upgrade is just once more a resource sink. So like I would love to level them all at some point, because I don't know, that seems like a completionist thing to do, and I just haven't. Eureka loot pouches, exactly. You could totally tie it behind something like that. You could make it drop from any form of in-game content. So Eureka loot pouches could be a method. Running your daily roulette could be a method. Running the current tier of Alliance raid could be a method. Running PvP during that season could be a method. You know, whatever the current patch is, like you could say the current beast tribe for one patch cycle is a method, and just tie it to whatever is quote unquote current. go. Onward. I probably should have grabbed that one from Sepulchre while I was up there, because now I'm going to have to go way back out of the way. It says 4 minutes. I feel like it's been 4 minutes. It has been 4 minutes. Now it says 13 minutes. Guess I didn't quite make the last raid group. Alright. Now this does mean I can't stop and do Bastion of Twilight, because I'm in wait, so I can't go run an instance. Which is fine. I don't need to kill Bastion of Twilight. It's just a dragon. Alright. We will do this one. Yeah, we'll do Lockmedon. Whoa. I think I'm supposed to catch a little black ram. What do you guys think? Let's catch ourselves a black ram. I'm not as worried about these, but that looks like I could knock out the pet for a whole zone if I just grabbed it. Alright. You want the daily relic grind back? Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the next form of relic. I mean, obviously they learned from Eureka and they liked certain aspects of it. But it would be interesting to find out that, you know, they found a way to combine it with previous versions, so you kind of have that go grind for books, fate shenanigans. Oops, we need to switch to my terrible turnip, because I don't want to kill the black ram. So, terrible turnip is a pet that has a unique ability to, no matter how much damage he does, he always leaves 1 life left on what he attacks. So it's perfect for capturing low-level mobs, or low-level pets, without killing them. Da-da-da! Haha! Now I have a pet. See, it cleared that marker that said everywhere that pet could be caught is now gone. There are 7 pets that can be caught in this zone, and I now have all 7. Copper's not worth anything. Like, it's worth, like, nothing. I mean, yeah, I think deep dungeons were tuned to be a little too much experience, but it's really boring to grind deep dungeons over and over. At first, it's not, because you're getting all this experience and you're playing this class through, but like it quickly becomes rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Especially like if you do it for more than one class. So if you push one class up entirely through deep dungeons, I don't think it's that bad. Looking at like how many runs that would be, I haven't done it, but I don't think it would be. I think I could sit down in one stream and do it. Where I really struggle is seeing that people level like, oh, I leveled, you know, 8 classes up like that. It's like, ugh. There's like 27 different ways to level in this game. Do one class with the most efficient method, do another class with the second most efficient method. Like, I can't imagine people who just, oh, I can't do it. It's not me. It's not for me. Is there one in the Badlands? No. Okay. Cool. There's one in Vastier, which we'll have to take a portal to. You've done 570 runs in 3 weeks. Oh my god, I do not have the discipline for something like that. It's hard enough for me to do something like this, and it's literally counting up a percentage every time I do it. Like for the Lunar Festival, I'm now at 63% of it complete. Let's go grab this guy. No, let's do that one on the way back up. I have to come back up the continent anyway. The other continent, I think, clockwise is a good plan. This continent, I think I probably should have done it the other way, but I've already settled on this method. Let's just keep at it. Oh, nope. That's not it. Burning Steps. It's over the mountain and through the hills here. In Flame Crest. Now it says there's pets I can capture here. Says there's lava beetles. So let's go look for a lava beetle, I guess. Oh, there's ore that I can gather. Mithril's worth something. I feel like it was. Yeah, Mithril's worth 40 gold apiece. So we will gather all the Mithril that we come across here. Okay, we're looking for lava beetles. There's one. Come here, my friend. Okay. I do not have a lava beetle, but I do have the other two, so we will do terrible turnip. Kill that lava beetle. Butt up. 5 weeks. Well, that's a little better, but 570 runs. I haven't done 570 runs ever. Alright, lava beetle. Boom! 1 try. That's fantastic. For a level 15 uncommon, like, that's great. Yeah, let's do that. John Andrew, welcome to the workforce. If you're here in stream, definitely welcome, welcome. If not, still regular welcome. Alright, so we killed the lava crab. Now we will kill the scorpid, who ideally takes damage. I don't think I'll lose my terrible turnip here. I may have to switch pets, because my terrible turnip only has this one ability left. So, like, I literally can't... I can't finish him. We'll switch to another pet. Finish the job. There we go. Give experience to the fox. Hooray! I got a lava beetle. And that should make... yeah, that makes a bunch of those drop off. I'm not selling ore right now. I'm just assuming I'll need it here as I push up my engineering. So I'm just mining it based on the value, even though I'm not really cashing it out. I don't really have any use for gold outside of buying crafting materials, so just keeping it as crafting materials is fine. The exception there being like when, like, if I didn't need any ore, but I did need cloth, then I could mine the ore based on its value, sell it, and turn it into cloth. There's a lot here. You can make a lot of money mining like this. Because I'm making, each one of these I'm getting like 3 or 4 mithril, which is like 160 gold. So like if you just sat here and did this, you would, and then did sell it, you'd make a killing. Because it's 100 gold every time I do this. Or more. Alright. Nothing in Red Ridge. Where's my next? Blasted Lands. Okay. Hey! We're gonna go into a raid. Alright, let's see what the new raid is about, guys. I haven't seen anything on it. I haven't seen any footage. I haven't seen any guides. I have done nothing. I am just charging in because it's LFR, and that should be plenty. Oh, we got a cutscene.
Commander! Look!
Fish jumping right into our nets. Go! Go!
Those ballista will be firing any second.
Continue our approach, Captain.
Aye, Lord Admiral.
Lady Proudmoore, the mission was a success. Our stealth agents are clear of the area.
Thank you, Spy Master. Hi, Tinker. Are you ready?
I'll activate our surprise just as soon as we're in range.
Now.
Steady.
Incoming!
Hi, Tinker! Calvin. No.
Look out!
Full speed ahead! Alliance! Forward!
Oh, snap. I think we have some guests here in the city. Okay. So first I need to change my spec. Nope. I got pulled into combat. Balance. Activate. If only Verminion, Lords of Verminion were as interesting as Minion. It's all it needed to be. A light spoof off of Pokemon. Like, it didn't need to be anything more than that. And they had to go off and try to spin it off into this ridiculous RTS MOBA shenanigans. I don't know why it did that. "14's the last MMO with a true sub left. WoW can be farmed." What do you mean? Like, in what way? Alright. I mean, if you're not trying to run the current content, like, if you just want to go sit in Alliance raids and, like, see the people carry you through the fight, and if you die, they res you, both games can just be farmed. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, my DPS does not matter in this. This is cool. The only advantage to me doing DPS is that it speeds it up. I guess technically they could, like, kick people that have bad DPS, but it would take you... I could push one button and stay above the line that people will kick. Cool. Oh, that you can farm game time. Yes. Final Fantasy is behind the 8 ball on that one. Okay. Yeah, you can technically pay your WoW sub with playtime. It's not as effective as going and just, like, mowing lawns or babysitting in the number of hours it takes the average person to farm gold.
4, 3, 2,
All right.
1.
This is the first boss. Not very much trash, I have to say. Now, I don't know if they were clearing trash while I was in the cutscene. Because it doesn't pull you forward like it does in
1.
the other one there. disoriented.
Three, two, one.
See, I'm supposed to turn for that. Looks like it. Looks like turn. For Blinding Faith. It's called Blinding Faith, so like that makes sense to me. I've got to redo my UI. This thing is nasty. So much clutter on this screen. It would give a use for Gil if we could farm playtime. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Blinding Faith. Okay, we got to target these ads. They're starting to build up. My god, I'm so far behind on gear. It doesn't help that I'm wearing tank gear. So like a lot of your stats switch, so like all the strength or all the agility moves over to being intellect. But like the fact that I've spec'd it into
1.
Got clipped by it. Okay, so it's definitely turn. Oh, I'm gonna die. I think we have more than one tank. So I think these tanks are supposed to be helping pull the ads off. It looks like Frida can be solo tanked. We might get the clear, but this is LFR, ladies and gentlemen. Sloppy, sloppy pulls. A
3,
moderately
2, 1.
aware level that there are mechanics, but that they don't matter, and then you get the clear. Okay. 375s. I have 3 tokens. Yeah, we'll roll. 500 additional artifact power. Oh, I got it. I got artifact power. All right. Oh, nice. What's up? I'm shocked this isn't voice acted. Rise, fallen ones. Zandalar will be ours forever. Yeah, so there's people who are willing to make more money that don't have a use for their money. There's people who sit on crazy amounts of money now that don't have a use for it. And allowing people to buy a sub and sell gold for that, all that does is move money around. So all of a sudden you have people who don't really want to play anymore because they just play to make money and they're in their gil cap. And you're letting those people want to play more, and you're letting the people who like don't want to play because they feel broke play more. So you create all this playtime. You're not actually selling gil. You're selling other players' playtime. It's brilliant. Because the gold that's generated by selling subs here is generated by other players. Like, I pay real gold for a token. Gold that I farmed. And then they give that gold to the person who then sold the token to me. So they're not even spinning up an invisible resource, which would cause rapid inflation. They're selling my time for money. So basically, imagine if you had a friend who was willing to pay you 15, they were willing to pay your sub if you provided them with an amount of gold that you guys agreed on each month. That's all this is. It's just lining up strangers to pay each other's sub. Super clever. All right. and it makes them a ton of money. Because effectively, instead of, like, say I'm a player who doesn't like farming but will farm because I have to, now I'll pay somebody else's sub, and that's somebody who may have decided to unsub because they didn't have the money, but they did have the time, and they felt like, I'm at guild cap and I don't really have 15 bucks. So, I don't know. It's clever. Eve did it first, to my knowledge. At least did it well. There may have been games before that, but Eve had like a whole system in place where you could set up multiple accounts and you could pay multiple subs with your own money. Your in-game money. Alright, so we're going for Grong next. Yeah, I'm not even on the top 13 list for DPS. Just not even aware. Which, part of that is like the gear that's dropping is in the 370s, and I'm wearing 354. I mean, I have like a 380 and stuff equipped, but like, it's just that I have, like, my shoulders are 345. They're just such trash. 345, 345. So it's really just a handful of slots that keep me from being at least 370 or 380. Which is where I need to be. I could go run M+, and that would gear me out pretty quick. And probably should. Oh, this guy. Grong looks so angry. Alright, let's do this. Pull, pull, pull. What are we waiting on? Are we all here? Yeah, we're all here. Let's do this. Come on. Come on. I have no idea what we're waiting on. Nobody. Literally everybody's here. Just pull. Do it. I will poke you. Hey, let's do this. Alright. Megatonic Seeker Missile. I'm gonna assume that maybe I shouldn't stand near everybody else for that. What do you think? Reverberating Slam. Seems to affect melee. Rending Bite. Bestial Smash. Bestial Smash is the tank buster. Ferocious Roar incoming. So he still is dropping those missiles. Those just keep us ranged guys aware of where we're standing. Oh, he's got a tantrum. He has a lot that affects the melee DPS, but those of us that stay back here, as long as we don't stand in the fire, it doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. Huh. Am I going to be playing WoW Classic? I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know where it fits in my time. Otherwise, I'm intrigued by it. I did like WoW back in the day. I don't think that they've strived to make the game worse. So, like, I think people are overestimating how wonderful it's going to be. There's a lot of quality of life that's been added to the game that I think people forget wasn't there at launch. So it looks like we were supposed to kill the ad. They killed it. And the boss is already at half-life. Easy enough. You've noticed in 14, content lulls burns you out hard. Yes. I mean, I think that's the beauty of the limited job system. It's not about blue mage or not blue mage. It's not about which job was the limited job. It's that a limited job is meant to exist in the lull times. Because there are lulls. As opposed to, like, WoW has done a good enough job each expansion introducing something new that stays relevant. Like, Final Fantasy has this history of, like, here's squadrons, and then there's no new additional content for squadrons. Here's chocobos, and then there's no new additional content for chocobos. Here's the golden saucer, and then there's very little additional content for the golden saucer. But WoW is like, here's these holiday events, and each expansion we're going to add to all the holiday events. Here's mini pets, and each expansion we're going to add to all the mini pets. And so whatever side system you get drawn into outside of the PvE grind is constantly being updated with every expansion. So there's always something to go do. The other thing is, like, they do have some side systems in the game, but they're always different. So, like, PvP. Well, we all pick up these games because we like PvE. And you might like PvP, but you don't have to like 14 or WoW. So expecting people to do PvP isn't going to catch everybody. So, like, you have to have more than one side system if you're going to catch all 100% of the players. Same with gathering and crafting. Gathering and crafting is wonderful, but you're not going to catch all 100% with that. You're going to catch a percentage. So I think that WoW does a better job of making sure that you constantly feel like we are going to die if we do not. Oh my god. So that's his soft. So that's his soft enrage. Is each time he tantrums, he's going to tantrum a little bit longer. It looks like. Oh, and then the antagonizer is making him mad. Okay, so the antagonizer, every time it casts that, he sends out melee. Yeah, we're gonna roll again. I got Azerite power. I could probably at least repair. I want to stand in that. Vanilla, yeah, vanilla, it was like 17 days of playtime if you didn't optimize to hit 60. It took me 17 days of playtime to hit 60 my first time. I could have done it faster my second time, but that's where I was at. This character was my vanilla character. Well, my second vanilla character. My first vanilla character was on a shared account with my brothers. So, like, this is not my 2004 account. I got this one in, like, 06 or 07. For the first several years of WoW, I shared an account with my brothers. Which my brother Adam still has that account. The one that played 14 with us on Monday. His WoW account is our original 2004 account. And that's where Quandana came from, is like, because I had to create another account, I didn't really care, and I just was like, well, just give me a name, and it came out of the random name generator. And I'm getting pounded here. Alright. There's a lot of things not to stand in. This character is basically, so a druid in caster form is basically a black mage that can move. I mean, I'm not optimal when I move, but like a black mage that has like an additional 1 or 2 instant casts. Aha! I mean, there's like 42 specs in WoW, so like you're gonna have some overlap. Because there are other characters that I would say are also a black mage, like mages. Feel a lot like a black mage. And since this is what I was playing at the time that I switched, when I dropped this game, this is the spec I was playing. So when I moved to Final Fantasy, that's how I ended up as a Black Mage as my first one. Because this is where I was coming from. Vanilla AV, like, so PvP won't be out at launch because it wasn't out at launch. And the thing about PvP not being out at launch is PvP was on my original 2004 box art. If I remember correctly. And it did not drop for a long time. It's intriguing. We'll see how many people they keep. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of people on day one, and they're definitely preparing for that. But, like, how they deal with servers after that, how they spin up servers, because the sharding system didn't exist back then, and server was a huge piece of your identity. And are they going to allow server transfers? And if so, what are the what are the rules on that? I'm rooted. I mean, I don't have to be rooted. I can break myself out of it at any time as a druid. We need to fight Jadefire. Is that Jadefire? No? Let's see. Are we fighting up at the top of the hill for the first one here? I don't know what happens. Alright. Yeah, Vanilla AV was mind-blowing back in the day. Which was the first one to drop? Was that Arathi Basin? Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take people to realize that part of the reason WoW was so good is that WoW was so different than the other MMOs of the time. And so, like, every new experience, like AQ, AV, even the way, like, Molten Core worked and all that just felt so good. But we've learned from those lessons, and every game can produce that level or higher now. So I don't know that... And we've seen all that content before, so I don't know that the newness is going to be there. Not to mention, like, that the graphics and all that were beautiful at the time, but it's been over a decade, and we've come a long way. So, nostalgia goggles are definitely a thing. You wonder if they'll do a progression server? That's a tough question. So do you reset it like a ladder, and you allow people to just go back and play vanilla again? And then people who want to, if they want to start TVC, are they given either a base TVC character, or they can choose to carry their previous ladder character from vanilla over? So you either create a brand new character in TVC, and it's given to you at level 60 with a base set of gear for a TVC ladder, and then do you run those ladders simultaneously, or are they alternating seasons? It'll be interesting to see how they solve that. I think they'll have to just look at what the player interest is at that time. Because that's still a ways out. It says, oh, swap. Okay. So somewhere here there's a tank swap taking place. Yeah, they're swapping tanks. I'm not sure why. Are they swapping tanks, or are we swapping DPS? Because both guys are at a similar level of damage. I mean, I don't do enough damage to really affect this fight. Like, I don't know where I'm at. Yeah, I'm down in 18th. At 5,000 DPS. The top people are doing 17. They're literally tripling me. Gotta get that gear, man. The question about AQ is, do you change the items? Because if you don't change the items, people are going to start stockpiling on day one. The stockpiling didn't take place the first time because nobody knew AQ was coming. But now we do. So, like, do you just pile up rune cloth and bandages and all that so that you have all the turn-ins so that your server completes it in, like, a day? You know? Because everybody's got banks full of this stuff. Ah... Alright, Mario Party. No, no, no. Through the maze, through the maze. Do, 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 do. Alright. The barriers. This is nasty. There's so much going on. Stand in that. So the big green thing's a heal. The cracked earth here is a paladin thing. That heals from a druid. It's just an overtime. As long as you're standing in it, you're getting it. So really, it's just don't stand in the orange things. Everything else here is friendly. Nice spell effects turned way down, or it gets just impossible to tell what's going on. I don't know what happens. It looks like we're switching DPS often enough. That I assume that once one of these dies, the other one must have some form of an enrage. Or we wouldn't be switching like this. We would just focus one down. I mean, all of this stuff is in the dungeon journal, so they feed you the strats. Not to mention people have been playing stuff like this on the PTR, so usually most of the fights have been seen. I think if at the mythic level there's still a decent amount of, like, we're not going to tell you what's going on, but I'm not sure. At the LFR level, they just feed it to you. You can go down to your dungeon journal, adventure guide, and it automatically opens up to where you are, and you can say, we're about to go into the Jadefire Masters, and it tells you what you need to do based on your role. Oh! I got 2 pieces of gear! That is why we roll. Alright. Okay. 370 from a 345. Big upgrade. 370 from a 340. Oh, tasty, tasty. Bumped me up from 353 to 357. And then I got this crafting mat. This Breath of One Sumdney. Alright. That's huge. That's huge. Okay. So that marks that. So I'll finish up Eastern Kingdoms. There's some mithril here. I think we were heading down to Blasted Lands, if I remember correctly. And then we'll come back up through the jungle and along that coast. Red Ridge was one of my favorite zones leveling in Alliance. I never really made it to... I don't spend a lot of time in Eastern Kingdoms as Horde. Mostly because I don't play Undead. So I think I would spend a lot more time here if I did play Undead. Fledgling Buzzard. Let's go catch that. Just while we're out and about. There's a fledgling buzzard. Ba-da-da. Switch to the terrible turnip. That way it doesn't kill it. Okay. This should be a first catch. But if not, like your little cage, it increases in catch likelihood every time you miss. So it's a pretty fantastic Pokeball, as Pokeballs go. This might kill it in one hit. Nope. There it goes. And he's dead. Your server died as soon as Anubis showed up. I think that WoW Classic had all sorts of moments that were so like shared and iconic. That's what I hope that they're able to capture back, but I don't know if they will, because a lot of it was like, we don't know what's going to happen next and we're all in this together, and I don't know that they're going to be able to do that now that we all know. I think people are going to be like, oh, you're doing it wrong. Alright. And the achievement system. When was the achievement system? Lich King? So like there's also a fair lack of like completionism. Like WoW was just about playing WoW. It wasn't the game it is now where like I can go grind towards an objective. It was a lot more open sandbox. 64% on these. I feel like the Lunar Festival. So I've done 40 of 86. The last 40 I feel like should be relatively quick because you're doing it expansion by expansion. Each expansion only has one island. I gotta turn this into old school. Hello. Show me before the invasion. Thanks. Old school blasted lands. And then I need to go get a Squirpling while I'm here. I'm knocking out all kinds of pets today. I need 445 more things until I'm at 46%. Things are achievements, new items that are a transmog I don't have, pets I don't have, quests I don't have. So like each of these lunar things counts. We're gonna fly over the ridge here. We're just gonna leave this in the old zone. I don't come here often enough. The Silithus thing, you specifically go there, so I could see that frustrating me. I already have fire beetles, so let's just terrible turnip this up and be done with it. Are they gonna allow add-ons? Yeah, all the old add-ons should still run. It should still work just like it did before. All the old API should be there. Yeah, I mean, add-ons were a huge thing in WoW and always have been. Like, a lot of the stuff that's native now came from add-ons. We knew, like, we know what we want because of the add-ons. Like, it was really hard to know where quests were and stuff like that without an add-on. Gosh, by TBC, the add-on market was... I couldn't imagine the game without it. Man, I've caught every single pet first try today. Is that right? Feels right. Let's switch to my fox and hopefully kill this stuff in like one hit or close to it. Not quite. Three hits. Okay. Doing a ton of damage. Ow. The earth is scorched. Oh no. And then the scorched earth will hit one more time. 31 damage, he lives, and we're off. Okay, I win. Scorpling is mine. There is none. There it is. There it is. Booty Bay is the most south. That makes sense. There would be one in Booty Bay. Is there one? Yeah. Anywhere else in STV? Gosh, STV was the worst. There's one at ZG. We'll do ZG first. So that I can fly more along this coastline. WoW was the only game that you felt the quest helper was such a big requirement. It was. Oh, man. It really was. You could just be lost. You'd look stuff up and, like, it just... Like, without Wowhead and stuff, you'd, like, click on you'd open up a quest and you'd be like, I just read all this quest text and I have no idea what you're asking of me. And all the little, like, stuff that you can right-click on glowing, that was not in the game. So you had to know where you were... It's like, oh... You're looking for this leaf, not this leaf, and they look the same. There was no mouse indicator. You just had to know what you could click on and what you couldn't. Oh, it was awful. Would be fun if there was a pet-based dungeon. There are. Yeah, there are. In WoW. Yes, there are pet-based dungeons. There absolutely are. Already a thing. Further south. They just take a long time, so I haven't done them. But, yeah, if I go to... I assume that there's sources... They may be only the pet battle ones. Uncheck all. I don't know. But if we go to... So I know, like... Wailing Caverns is one. So it's that icon that says there is one. So that means there's another one up here. No. I know the Wailing Caverns is one. Yeah. Is it WoW's version of Lords of Verminion? Yes. And it way predates Lords of Verminion, so there is no excuse for Lords of Verminion not being at least this good. It came in Cataclysm, which was our third expansion, 4.0. We are currently in 8.0, so at 2 years apiece. That was 8 or 9 years ago. They have added additional pets with every single expansion. They have added additional pet trainers out in the world with every single expansion. They've added things like the pet dungeon system. They've added, I mean, it's a huge system. There's a whole website just for people that track this and to compete with each other. Like the pet journal, I have 672 total pets, but my battle pet achievement score is only 370, and like I would have to go to, let's see, battle pets, pet battles, battle. So like these are all the things I haven't done. All these PvP pet battles, doing all the different world quest battles, the different trainers, all the there's corrupted pets out in the world, which are kind of like pet world bosses per se, but you take them on by yourself, but they're each one requires like a unique strategy. So think like Masked Carnival, way before Masked Carnival. So you'd have to like build your team exactly for that fight. Yeah, it's a huge system. It is absolutely ridiculous. All right. That covers us here. Now we work back up the left side. So the next one is right here, Westfall. Onward. If they put Triple Triad and Lords of Verminion on the companion app, yes. Yes, I agree. Why Triple Triad isn't on an app that connects with the game is mind-blowing. You could tie all kinds of things behind it. Flying to Westfall. More Pokemon, less RTS. Yes, it is literally a Pokemon ripoff. It is Pokemon Light 100% of the way through. You have a huge collection. They all have levels. They have different types within that level. Types have strengths against each other. They have different moves, so like you can choose between different moves within each other. You have items that benefit them and change their appearance and stuff. There's all sorts of different glamour items because you can have them summoned. Think like Pokemon Let's Go. I mean, they're the minion first, and so when you have them out, you can make them bigger and smaller and glowing, and you could spend so much of the time on this game. Like if you just played Transmog and minions, this game is absolutely worth $15 a month. So if I go to pets and I go to collect, so the next pet thing I get is I get given a pet when I get to 800 unique pets. I'm at 615. But like, here's every pet on the Eastern Kingdoms. Here's every pet on this continent. Here's every pet in Pandaria. Every pet in Draenor. Every pet in Broken Isles. Every pet in the new areas, which I'm only missing 2. And then I get a title if I get them all. Then you talk about start to have rare pets, pets that are tied behind like raids. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've made a dent in all of it. I have not cleared any of it. Total on pets, if I just look at pets as a concept, pet battles, I'm at 50% of everything that can be done from pet battles, and pet journal, I'm at 59% of everything that can be done. Some of it's seasonal, so like there's like the adopt a kid holiday or whatever has like some plushies and stuff that count as pets, and you can only get 1 a year per character. So back before pets were account wide, that means that like they released 3 the first year, and then they released like the next expansion they released more, and so it took like 4 years. But now I can just log out to a different character and do it again and pick a different pet. I'll need to make it out to Vashyr, but I will have cleared all of Vanilla and Cataclysm today, and then I'll probably stop there. I don't know that I could do this all in one sitting. I could try. I'm at 44 of 86. It doesn't tell me, it doesn't sort them by zone is the problem. Or I could see like how many are in TVC. It just tells me the name of the elder. So I'd have to Google each and every one to know what I'm missing. What's going on, Joe? Alright. Yeah, the achievement system in 14 is something that I harp on with Brian all the time. It drives me nuts. Because they're like, oh, you killed 10 of something? We're adding new achievements to the game. Kill 100 of the same thing. Like, there's no depth there. As opposed to, like, there's all these just crazy achievements in here. Like, if we just go to a random category, I don't know, let's go to PvP. And just click on Isle for Conquest. In a single battle, assault, defend, and destroy. That's one I'm missing. So, like, and I could do that over and over. You just go to... This guy's going to try to kill me, so let's come up here and make him... Alright, so we go to Collections, and we'll go to Mounts. Obtain this unique mount. Go to Reputation. Go to Draenor. Like, earn Exalted with these different people, and like you go to Dungeons and Raids and click on a raid, and then it'll be like beat him on all the difficulties, which you'd expect, but then beat him without crowd control, with more than 2 of his swarm on normal or heroic. Like, so there's always these random achievements in addition to the yes, you cleared the thing, you're amazing. Get out of there before that monk comes and attacks me. Okay. That's the Stormwind one. now we go back to Searing Gorge. I mean, the fact that I have 13,590 achievement points and I am not even halfway done with this game. Like, there's so much you can do. And that's before you go into, like, some of, like, the individual things that are... This is a very, like, Final Fantasy-esque, like, oh, loot more gold. Have more stuff equipped. All these got reset because our eye level got dropped. My wrist is my only crappy slot. What am I wearing? A 345. Gross. And it doesn't even count as a 345. Like, it doesn't count as a 340 because the reason it's 345 is that it time warp, it warforged. So it counts as its base eye level. Gross. 66 tokens. So you already have all of the transmog and the pets? Yeah, I'm missing the transmog because I cleared this. The last time I did Lunar Festival was pre-Kata, so like I didn't have anything turned in. Or I didn't keep any of that stuff in my bags. Okay. Looks like I could catch a pet here and knock this out. Molten Hatchling. Heal my pets. Oh, is that Mithril? Yeah, buddy. It's like 100 gold a vein right now. It's crazy. Another one. I wonder what's worth prospected. It's worth, can it be prospected? Yeah, the prospect value is at a gold 19 apiece, but the buyout is 40 gold, so do not prospect Mithril. My god. There we go. Alright. So we are looking for a pet battle. Molten Hatchling. Hello. Ash Spiderling I already have. Molten Hatchling I do not have. Now, Ash Spiderling, it tells me the one I have is uncommon, or is common. You can see by the gray number, and then it's level 13. This is an uncommon. So, like, if you really want to carry, you'd want to upgrade for your rarity, and you'd be looking for the blue ones. But I don't care. Not even a little bit. In 14, I think it'll still be 10 levels. WoW tried going to 85 once, and it just made people frustrated. I think the 10 levels works really well. You think 99 should be it? What happens after 99? We just stop getting expansions? There we go. I mean, when they first developed WoW, they said that they would drop the game when we got to 100. They didn't, because it turned into an industry. But when they first released it, it was just an experiment. It was going to end when they got to level 100. I could see them putting an achievement into tribute to that. You know? Like, isn't this max, question mark? And it's for hitting level 99. Alright. Only 434 things. Moving right along. Okay, so I feel like I needed to go to... Is there not a guy here, or did I just already do it? think I already did it. Okay. So let's go to Dunmeadow, the Dwarven starting area. Alright. I mean, this is so boring compared to mining in 14. But it is nice that I can do it like while I'm out and about, and I don't have to like set aside direct time for it. Alright. They could do gear as the sole way? Yeah, I guess they could. I think they'd make a lot of people mad. Oh, this is all copper. I forgot that I'm in a starting area. Copper's not worth anything. It's not bad, I guess, right now. 4 gold apiece. Oh, flew right past it. Busy jacking with inventory. Raise it by 1. Oh. There's something nice about 10 levels. Makes you feel like you get a lot of progress. Are you serious right now? Jerk. Come on. Drop combat, drop combat. There we go. Oh no, it's in Ironforge. Oh, gross. This is gonna suck. Do I have to go inside? Oh no. Alright. I haven't been in Ironforge in a long time. The Dwarven capital city. It's gonna be in the Mystic Ward. Nobody here. That's crazy. A level cap of 9999. That'd be a ways off. At 2 years per 10 levels. That's 100 levels every... Alright, that's 100 levels every 10 years. Go. Alright. And back outside we go. I like the 10 level grind. I can't interact with their mailboxes? That's so lame. Uh-oh. Go, go, go. Last thing I need is to be attacked by another player. Especially because the other player can just run me real low and let the guards finish me. They won't get an honorable kill, but I'll take gear durability. And it will cost me money. Oh, I'm not in my spec. I was like, why do I not have anything bound? Because I'm not in Guardian spec. Drop combat. Please drop combat. Activate spec. Oh, that was close. Gosh, I don't know what people would do if they gave us 100 levels for an expansion. That would be just as likely to make people quit. Okay. We're going to try to fly across this fatigue to grab this last one. And then we'll be done with the Lunar for this. I'm at 69% of the way done with Lunar Festival. I was at 45. But it didn't have any of the quests showing up, because I guess the quests have been reset since then. So now I have 49 of 86. Looks like I need to go to Voshir. Yeah, Voshir. Man, this is a long flight. Oh, it helps. It would help that I'm literally not allowed to fly any further because they've changed the height of all zones is not equal, so you end up like running into like an imaginary wall up high. I know. I assume I can make this. It looks like I can. Yeah. So I'll finish up Voshir. That'll be done with Kata. Right? Yeah. So I'll be done with Cataclysm. And I'll be done with Vanilla. So then I'll just have BC and I'll BC, Lich King, Draenor, and the new area. And the new area I assume is fairly quick. I mean, there can only be so many. I mean, there's only 86. And I can fly in all but Draenor. Draenor I'm just short rep. And I just haven't wanted to sit there and grind it. Sounds miserable. Once I unlock it on one character, I get them all, though, so could be worth doing. 14 will eventually have to deflate stats like WoW did, yes. And thankfully, WoW was smart enough this time that they built it in as a system so they can reset it every expansion from here on out. Instead of, like, this time was so manual for them. And 14 will have the same issue because of the way like power creep works. You just ended up with this bloated level of stats. Yeah, WoW is an interesting way to look for expansions into the future for 14. Because 14 is technically going into 5.0, but 1.0 was such an overhaul to 2.0. And WoW is in 8.0. And so you can see this progression in things like gearing and stuff like that 14 is going to run into the same problems. And they may solve them differently. That's one of the things that's really interesting is that, like flying, for example, both games have flying mounts, but they're handled a little bit differently. How you unlock them, what point they're released in new content, are all mounts flying mounts, etc. Like it's just different. This is all going to be copper. I'm not stopping for copper right now. I would have, but I'm getting hungry. I'll get some brunch. I didn't have breakfast. Okay. Oh, it says this guy has gear that I don't have. What do you have? Yes, please. Those sell for 2,000 gold on the market? Wow. Okay. Do you sell anything else? No. Alright. That was a nice little surprise. So now I just have to go to Voshir. The fastest way there is Org, I think. And just take the portal. So we'll go to Dalaran, to Orgrimmar, to Voshir. And I may have to leave town. I may not be in my town. We'll see. And then that'll be it. So let's jump off to here. Into Orgrimmar. Alright. Great success. You dislike the feeling of paper tanks? I think the tanks are a little overpowered. Tanking's a little too... Tanking at all but the Savage and Ultimate level, I think, is too easy in 14. There's not enough understanding of threat per second, and tanks have this ability to sustain themselves for a long time. Granted, I play a Guardian Druid, so like a Guardian Druid is also pretty brokenly good at keeping themselves up. But I like that some of the bosses can pretty much one-shot you. Okay, so Twilight Highlands. Deep Home is another area that we may want to do. That's another area that I don't know that I would have gotten everything from. We flew through Twilight Highlands. We flew through Oldham. Yes, I'm going to have to... Well, I can't fly here, because this is an underwater zone. So I will get on my manta ray. What? Why did it kick me off? What do you mean you can't mount here? That's BS. Okay. It like classified that one cavern as indoors. Alright. And we are headed to Elda Moonlace. And then that should send us on. We'll go do Deep Home. Is there a raid here? No. I feel like there's a raid in Deep Home though. Because I also wouldn't mind. I want to get this percentage up. So my goal for the year is to get it to 55%, which I don't think is hard. It's just something I need to do. So it'd be nice to pick up a percentage sometime in the next 2 weeks. The percentages get harder and harder, obviously, like as you creep up. Like the first 25% is just get a character to cap, and they'll just hand it to you. So I figure 55 is a solid goal for this year, and then next year we'll see if I can do 10%. I don't know. That could be tough. A lot of the achievements I'll need at that point are things like reach max level with 5 different classes. I want to do that this year. I've only ever hit 4 in a single expansion, and it resets every expansion, so the most I've ever had at cap is 4. And then I've never had my Alliance and Horde capped at the same time. Probably won't do that in 2019. Probably a 2020 challenge there. Loot 50,000 gold is just something that I just need to... That just happens naturally. And then this is something that, like I said, they reset that with the gearing. And then I'd be done with character. So if I go to summary, character's almost done. It says 28 of 34 because I think there's several of the... There's several of the gearing and several of the money. Like I don't think 50,000 is the last one. I like this little manta ray. The manta ray is new for this expansion. I used to ride a seahorse. We're gonna come gather obsidian. I don't think it's worth anything. Okay. So now we go to Deep Home, and we'll be done with Cataclysm. And then tomorrow I'll try to log on and do the second raid and knock out TBC, Lich King, and maybe this area, maybe the new stuff. And that'll leave only Draenor, because Draenor is going to be a pain. Because I assume there's ones for Kultiris. It's hard to tell with all the crap up. Maybe not. Maybe there's not one for Kultiris. Huh. That would be weird, right? I ran out here, but this is the wrong direction. Back in we go. To the portal room. Alright. You make absolutely unrealistic. Yeah, I have 2 MMOs, and in the past I've made such unrealistic goals that I haven't achieved anything. So I'm trying to just, like, set really achievable goals this year, and then that way I can hopefully hit all of them. And that tells me once I've hit all my goals in one game, it's time to focus on another game. Okay, so now we're going to Deep Home. Forgot my train of thought. I can always set stretch goals, so as soon as I clear it, I can see what else I can get done. Okay, so let's think this through. So, Hyjal I would have flown over. Right? Because Hyjal is... where? It's in Kalimdor, right? Mount Hyjal? Yep. Twilight Highlands I flew over in Eastern Kingdoms. Oldham we flew over when we did the raid. Vastir we just did. So the last Cataclysm zone to do is Deep Home. Cool. Fantastic. Deep Home. Oh, it's right here too. That is fantastic. Oh, very nice. Oh no, there's another one. Okay. There's 2. I was like, man, they made that easy. Next. $52 of the 86 done. I have 91% of Deep Home done on this character. 91%. I bet these pets are some of it. Let's find us a pet. Come on, pet. I know you're out there. Yes, capturable. Give me the cockroach. Come here, dude. Battle me. Battle me. I have those. So we're going to damage this. These are actually a decent level. So we'll damage this with my one character first. My one pet first. And then we will switch to my pet that can't kill it. Because the last thing I want to do is accidentally kill this thing. Okay, and then now that should be within range to catch it. No! First try again? Did they change these rates? This is absolute insanity. Okay, so there's 3 pets this time. What does Sunny Day do? Increases maximum health of all my pets. Increases healing done. Oh, cool. Let's go get our fox involved again. Oh, ouch. It killed him. That's good. What does the fox say? If he's going to do 145 each time, I should be able to live and just have this Blackfoot eat all the... So if my other fox comes out, he's going to start sucking off some of the experience as well. And this fox is not max health, so I want him to... There we go. That was not the thing that it expected me to catch. Interesting. I got the Deep Home cockroach. Man, there's a lot of pets here. There's 14 pets here, of which I only have 7. And I don't have any pet treats with me, so until this like pet heal is off cooldown, I can't catch another one because everything got torn up. You got a dirty feeling that part 2 of the MSQ is going to be killing people off. Yeah, they got asked in the Q&A, how do you decide to kill people off and stuff, and you know, it's tough. And now that we're possibly exploring multiple times or parallel realities, you have an opportunity where you could kill somebody off in one, and it doesn't have to be forever. Okay, so that puts me at 51 of these, which is great. Yeah, 92% of deep home. Whoa. Cool. All right. And then while I'm standing in his light, I can... requires greater moonlight. That doesn't count as greater moonlight? Well, then why do you have light above you? If you're just going to be a jerk about things. Actually, I'm a druid. I can just dream walk there. We're going to go buy a pet. That way, if I forget to play, I at least got a pet this year. And I should make sure I don't have any lunar tokens in my bank. Because I might. They'd be really old. I have 129. Oh my goodness. I do. Okay. So as soon as we finish this up, I'll go back to my... I have a bunch of old ones. I thought there was a way to Moonglade from here. Is there not? Oh, I can't see it past the thing. Is this Moonglade? Yeah, portal to Moonglade. There we go. Take me home. Alright. Great success. Greg, welcome to the workforce. We're going to come up here and we're going to buy this pet. And then I'm going to go back to my bank, which all of everything is on cooldown, so that's a thing. I do not know the best way to get back somewhere while everything's on cooldown. Probably just fly there, in all honesty. Hello. I want to browse your goods. I would like to buy this lantern, which has a market value of 50,000 gold. And I'd like to learn it. So if you wonder what to do with them, somebody who said they had 60, buy a festival lantern and sell it on the market board for 50,000 gold. What else am I missing? Nothing here. I mean, I'm missing... These are all cosmetics. I have one. I have the black pantsuit. Okay. Those are really cheap, though. So, actually, if I could get back to town, which is a decent ways. If I could get back to a bank. Do I have a bank? Do I have a way to get to my bank? Who would let me get to my bank? There's a minion for that, right? Quandia has 3. Quandanu has 78. Okay, so I feel like there's a minion for that. Pet journal. I feel like it's the Argent. Check them all. I feel like it's the Argent Gruntling. Summon. It might be the Argent Squire. I may not have it. What can I do for you? I don't know. What's that do? Oh, neat. Okay. I don't know what that does. Nothing. So I think it's the Argent Squire. I feel like one of those lets you go back to your bank. Which game is better for glamour? I think Final Fantasy has a wider breadth of glamour, so you have a wider variety of glamour items available to you, so you can change your appearance in more ways. But the actual technical system itself, the way you collect it, the way it tracks it, the way it's shared among characters, the way it's stored, the way it's applied. WoW has it hands down. But in variety, it is still very much 14. So I'm going to go to org. I'm going to grab these tokens, and that's probably a good stopping point. So if you have any more questions, let me know. I just don't want to forget to grab these, so I'm going to grab them while they're on my mind, and then that will set me up for tomorrow. We're going to right here. That's org. Oh, I'm going to have to fly up. So we're going to have to cross over Hyjal. Yeah. So that'll be good. Yeah, Glamour's interesting. Just as a concept. So Glamour, like, total items. I mean, so look at how many I can collect here. There's 474 unique head styles. Some of them are achievable by just one item. Sometimes they'll be shared across an item. So if I go to like if I open up all the menus, if I go to like here, these feet, for example, that list right there to the right of that, that's the list of items that share an appearance with this. But like rings don't have an appearance. Pants, there's only 2 pants that share this appearance. There's 2 waists that share this appearance. Only 2 helms. And so there are items, especially weapons, that like this is the honor-bound pig sticker is the only weapon that looks like this. But there's no reason for them to just literally spend time making thousands and thousands and thousands of appearances. So a lot of times, especially with like your greens that drop, they'll be shared across like 20 items. So from a glamour standpoint, you can decide like, once I have it, is that good enough? So I have an add-on called All the Things. It tells me what I have gotten and what I haven't. And and all the things in the settings. Oh no, not shift right click. That makes lag. I think it's right click. Shift right click makes lag. Makes it recalculate. Oh, I hit 46. Nice. So now that I've caused like epic lag. So if I right click in my settings in here, I have it set to not count. I have it set to not count, like if it has 10 appearances and I collect one of them, call it good. Count all 10. So when I mouse back over those boots, for example, you'll see that it has blue check marks in its circles and then blue check marks. Blue check marks means I have collected that item. Blue check marks in circles means I have the appearance, but I haven't gotten that exact item. I've not collected every item in the game. Which I don't want every item in the game. I just want every appearance in the game. So once I've collected all 474 helms, I don't need to collect all 50,000 helms in the game. I just need the 474 unique appearances. If I could pick one thing from each game and have it in the other, and why? The one thing that I would pick up from WoW is the achievement system. They do a great job of encouraging you to go explore other parts of the game and go do things you haven't done before. They have achievements that reward you with titles, pets, mounts, and so their achievement system is just incredibly deep in creating lateral content where there was no additional content needed. So like dungeons, for example. Right now, once you complete dungeons and you've gotten all the glamour you want, you're kind of done with dungeons. But we can go in and we can open up, like, I don't know, Legion dungeons. And we can scroll down here and it's like, defeat this boss without allowing any of the Hate Koi Shellbreakers to die. Defeat this boss with 11 or more globules. And so it encourages you to play the mechanics in a different way. The second thing I would add from WoW is the M+ system, which was basically allow you to take like deep dungeon modifiers and increase the level of the dungeons you faced in trade for additional reward. And so you would add a deep dungeon modifier to a level. So like maybe every mob explodes after you kill it. And so now you're having to be careful how fast you pull, and you're timed. So it encourages like a very Diablo Greater Rift. Now from the Final Fantasy side, welcome back. The first thing I would add would be the crafting system. I mean, I think it's probably the single best crafting system in any MMO. Just in the ability to like have depth, and the only complaint I have about it is that they don't give me enough use for it. And then the second thing I would add is probably the sheer amount of lore in the game. Even as a non-lore guy, I have respect that a lot of people do play the game for lore, and I think WoW is moving in that direction, but it has not caught up. Yeah. Add-ons is something that I think WoW benefits from. I just don't think it's the single best quality of WoW. It definitely benefits from. And there are add-ons for 14. People just keep their mouth shut about them. Let's see. How was your meeting, Brian? There it is. I was like, I know this thing's in here. Okay. So I've got my 79 ancestry. I should be able to just teleport back there. So I was going to do it later, but I think it's just a teleport. So since it's just a teleport, I'll go do it right now. So I'm pretty sure from any capital city they have this light here, and they give you this item that expires after the Lunar Festival ends. And it teleports me right there. Alright. I do. This one ends. So the reason I did this one is because it ends on Monday. So it's been going on. I just haven't been playing. And according to my all the things, I had 86 quests tied to it that haven't been done since the big quest reset of Cataclysm. So I did 53 of them today. And then it has 27 vendor items, which I only have 2. And I don't think you can get them all in 1 year without playing on multiple characters. And I'm not going to play this on multiple characters because at the moment this holiday ends, the Valentine's Day one starts for WoW. I'd like to browse your goods. Give me that. That noise is my add-on saying you collected something new. I think there's a way to drop other sounds into it too. It just has some random ones right now. Oh my gosh, these get expensive. Okay. I have 54. I can have 2 of these. Alright, Brian. Do I want prosperity, good fortune, dark blossoms, or courage? And what was your second choice? Done. Perfect. Got lots of transmog. I'll probably never use those. Oh my goodness. Even more stuff. Oh, that just hurts. Oh, these are all toys and stuff. These get even more expensive. Wow. Oh, and they have heirlooms. Yeah, no way. No way. Interesting. We'll finish this vendor first. This vendor I got 9 of 12, so I've got 3 left, so I need 75 more. I won't even get that this year. So I would have to play on multiple characters, and we're not going to do that. So I will have to wait until next January to complete this holiday. But I moved it from 45% complete because it was still tracking the achievements but not the quests. And I moved it to 79%. That's big. It says I'm missing Cataclysm, Nordrasil, Evershade and Nordrasil. Where is Nordrasil? Where is Nordrasil? Nordrasil. Lunar Festival. Elder Evershade. Oh, that's in High Jaw. I flew right over it. Alright. Dragon Quest sounds. I think you can drop any sound you want in there. I just kept it with the default library. Yeah, I am not caught up in 14 right now. I'm not caught up in WoW either. I'm just behind. So, Drazalore, the first one is available in Looking for Raid. I can't do the second one or the third one until next week. So if I want to do the second and third boss, I'll have to do them in normal difficulty. And I think the group said they'd take me at like 380 or 390. So I am at 357. So I got to get my eye level up quite a bit. But I have a couple items like my wrist that will drastically increase it. Like my wrist and back are down at 340 and 350. My shoulders are at 345. So those are really holding me back. It's possible that there's world quests that are dropping better gear for me at this point as a catch-up mechanic. If you could pick something from WoW, it would be PvP. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Their PvP is so much better. It's very well implemented. And then quest variety. Yeah, I think that just comes with more expansions. I think they add quest variety to 14 every expansion. They come up with a new mechanic, and then that gets added to their kind of library of mechanics that they're familiar with. So give us more expansions and 14 will be there. And I love that theirs are different than WoW. They're not just slowly implementing what WoW has. Achievement earned. Elders of Cataclysm. Alright. So I now... Let's cause a little bit of lag here. And it should close up that category. Achievements should drop. 80% on Lunar Festival. There are no more achievements to be gotten. The game will catch up eventually here. There it is. I have 30 more quests to do, and then I have a lot of vendor items. To get the vendor items, I would have to go... I would have to honestly sit there and farm it up on multiple characters, probably still for multiple years. But we can at least finish out the one vendor this year, most likely. Or get close. I guess not, because I have 30 left, so I'll get one more. So I'll be at 10 of 12 this year. And we'll call that good. That'll put me at 165 of the 205 things tied to Lunar Festival. And then it'll be time for Love is in the Air. Which Love is in the Air I'm missing all kinds of things from. And that is our Valentine's Day event. Starts on Tuesday. They give me 2 weeks to do it. There's also some little things they do, like hatching of the hippogriffs. There's all these... They do a great job of tucking little things in here where you can just go, like, stand near something and see an event happen. And then you don't get, like, an achievement or anything from it. It's just enjoyable for the sake of it, like March of the Murlocs and stuff. And that's something that I think 14 and WoW both benefit from every time they do something like that. Just kind of a social event for the sake of it. Alright, guys. Well, that is a good stopping point for me. I am missing plenty of Lunar Festival, so I'll try to log on tomorrow morning. But we'll see if it works. So that would be my dream come true, would be to get to play tomorrow morning. And I would basically just try to knock out the rest of Lunar Festival and then probably get off, so it won't be a long stream if I'm able to stream it. But that'll depend largely on kind of what's going on in the house. If the puppy's okay, I can hear him kind of whining for lunch right now. So we're going to go hang out with Chuck. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for all of you that hung out. Welcome to the new followers, and I'll see you guys next time.